Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, just didn't know. I was staring at a wall.
Oh, that's what's come up when you see me? Is a wall?
Just a wall. That's all I got.
How about that?
Well, there you are.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with ooVoo technology, unfortunately.
You're quite all right.
Okay.
Let me just cover a couple of things just to get us started, and then
Sure.
like I said, I'm going to open it up to you and let you take it away. Our interview process in its entirety can sometimes go on for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
A few different steps that we might go through here. This here today is really just a chance for us to get our feet wet, get a better feel for who each of our candidates are, and then we'll know how to move forward from there. Okay. So that said, you and I might go on today for maybe 15 minutes or so. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't want you to think something went horribly wrong when 15 minutes from now we're done and I'm wrapping everything up. That's all it was meant for.
Okay, no problem. I get it.
That said, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, well, let's see. I've been in sales for almost 20 years now. I've experienced both inbound and outbound sales. So I've worked, the proverbial behind the counter type sales where people come to me and inquire about my product, and then my job is to explain that to them and help them make the best decision for them as far as that product is concerned, which is been anywhere from working in a call center selling flowers, asking the right questions to help the customer make the decision on the best flower arrangement for them and for their outing. I'm currently doing a job right now with Sears, working in their home appliance department, where I'm selling appliances and outdoor furniture like patio grills, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So I've also sold insurance, which is more of an outside sales job, where I've gone business to business and also interfaced with the general public in attempting to get them to buy both life, accident, and health product. So I've had a lot of sales experience. I'm an excellent marketer. I'm organized. I'm self-starter, motivated, strong closer. I sell really well.
Okay. So this is a lot of inbound type selling experience where, like at Sears, people are coming to you. They might not be in the store to buy a refrigerator, but they're in the store to buy.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? Tell me about the insurance sales. Was that cold calling, or were those preset appointments or things like that you had?
Yes, that's where most of my experience is, in the outbound region, where I've had to develop my own leads and develop my own sales, which I've sold. Like, to just give you a history of my jobs in sales, I've sold retail sales when I was in high school, which anybody can do. I worked for a technology company where we sold, where we basically manufactured respirators. So I was outside sales rep attempting to pitch clients on that. So that would go business to business for that. Then I've been in insurance which I still currently do. And done that for 13 years, and that's been outside sales where it's all cold calling. It's sending out marketing pieces like flyers, like emails, various things of that nature. And then there's a Sears job that I also have, which has been inbound, where customers come in and interested in the product. I attempt to pitch them on that product by knowing the types of things that are in the store. Explain a refrigerator, explain a washer and dryer.
Okay. So being in sales for so long, you said almost 20 years?
Yes, sir.
What is it you like so much about sales?
I like working with people. I like the interfacing with people. It's never really that dull because you're always talking with somebody. I like the fact that sales, at least the sales that I've been in, allows you to be self-starter, that I can, that it allows me to use my motivation to excel rather than although I can work under a quota. That's never been a problem. So I like that. I like the self-starter aspect of it. I like the interacting with people. I like to learn. I'm inquisitive. So I enjoy learning new product and being able to show that product to other people in ways that it might help them, benefit them.
Okay. Okay, good. So what is it you don't like most about sales?
Well, I'm sure that's probably everyone's answer, but the rejection, obviously. People can be kind of rude sometimes especially when you're trying to sell. And I guess also I don't like failure. I want to succeed. Mm-hmm. So when I'm not succeeding, that can be kind of frustrating. I want to, I don't, but other than that, maybe there really isn't that much that I don't like about sales. That's what I've done, and I think I'm good at it.
Okay. So you say you don't like the rejection and you don't like failure. Isn't that rejection sort of failure?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It is. But
so how do you handle that rejection?
You just develop thick skin over a period of time. At first, when you first get into it, it's hard, but then as time goes on, you know what? It's the next person in line. That's all it is. You just look at either the next phone call, the next appointment, the next customer. And there's been many a times where I've experienced a rejection, and then the next person that came along was the nicest person in the world. The sale was consummated, and it really felt like, you know what? It's worth it what I'm doing.
Okay. So how do you take somebody from an initial rejection? They told you no once already. How do you take that and turn that into a yes?
By being a good listener. Why are they rejecting the product? Is it because of the way I've explained it to them, or is it just because they are unaware of what the product and the benefits of the product are? I think that's what any good salesperson is, listening to what the customer says on the other end to get a better idea of what they're looking for, so that way you can offer what's best for them and minimize those rejections. There's going to be times where someone's just going to that's the kind of personality they have. They're just going to reject no, no, no. And then you have to be smart enough to go on to the next person who's going to be a lot more receptive. But I think to take the initial rejection from a no into a yes is to be a good listener, to understand what it is exactly the customer's looking for.
Okay. Tell me about one of those experiences that you've had where you've been able to do that successfully.
To do that successfully, I would say in insurance would be an experience that I've had where insurance requires you to be highly inquisitive and highly listenable, where you can pay attention to what the person needs. And I've gone from having people initially reject a rate that I've offered because it's either too high or not what they want, to actually getting them to accept a rate that offers better coverage at a better price. I haven't had too many rejections at Sears. People come in, they're ready to buy.
Okay, but in insurance, is it a lot of times is it just price?
No, sometimes it's coverage. I close at probably 70+% ratio with insurance. So on cold leads. So usually my rejection on when I don't close is lack of a relationship. They don't know me. So okay. That's how I try to develop that relationship over the quoting process to enhance my ability to close that.
So is that pretty important in your sales style? Is that pretty important to build a relationship with that customer?
Well, it depends on what I'm selling. If I'm for insurance, absolutely. And even somewhat to the Sears outlet, I like to, because I want to make people feel comfortable, and so like even when I'm at the outlet store selling, I like to shake their hand and introduce myself and say, well, how can I help you? What can I explain to you about this particular product? And I think in the long run that makes it better, because people are a lot more, if you're just this guy that walks up there and you're like, hey, what's up? They're not necessarily going to be as interested in listening to you if you're the guy that walks up and says, hey, how are you today? My name is James. How can I help you with what you're looking at? Is there any questions that I can answer? And the same thing in insurance. I try to establish a relationship with my clients, because that also helps me with renewals down the road too, by having them continually come back, repeat customers. Repeat customers is a good thing in sales.
Absolutely. All right. So if I was to contact Pike or Merrick, what are they going to have to say about you? If I was to contact one of your supervisors over there?
They would say I would be a smart, intelligent, organized closer.
Okay. I think I'm curious also. After, 11 years, which is unheard of for anybody these days to be with one company for that long. After 11 years with Pike Insurance, what was it that made you leave them?
I was downsized with the economy.
Okay. So did Pike go out of business? Did they?
No, they basically restructured, and because of the amount of money that I made, my sales position was no longer available, and I didn't want to take a pay cut because of how long I've been in the industry.
Gotcha. Okay, so they just kind of looked at it and said, "You made too much. We're getting rid of it."
We're getting rid of it. Yep.
Okay. So why look at leaving a world that you know so well? And you've been in insurance sales for 13 years.
Yes, I have.
Why look at leaving that now to sell barbecue grills of all things?
Oh, because to everything there is an end, and I'm starting to wonder if I still want to be in insurance anymore. I mean, I like it, and I still have existing clients that I'm going to assist, but I'm questioning whether I want it to be my my career for the rest of my life going forward. It would be the best answer I could give you for that.
Okay.
So I'm interested in new opportunities, new challenges.
Gotcha. How much do you know about Traeger grills up to this point?
I know that you're one of the leading manufacturers of wood pellet grills. I know that you work. Apparently, you guys rep at Costco, right?
We do.
Yeah, and that's about the only thing I know other than that. And other than that, I'm an avid barbecuer, but I've never used a wood pellet grill, and I'm curious to know how it enhances the taste of meat.
Okay, gotcha.
To be honest with you. I use the propane grill, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Gotcha. Well, see, with propane, you're taking away the taste of meat.
Yeah, that's what people have told me. So, and with the wood, you actually enhance it because it takes on some of the flavor of the pellets that you use, right? Whether it be oak or something of that nature.
It does.
I don't know if you use oak for a grill, but
my favorite is hamburger made with the maple pellets. That's just
really
delicious.
Huh?
I love it.
That's good.
It's so good. Anyways, gotta make myself hungry. It's only 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me just cover a couple of really basic, just very high-level type stuff as far as the company is concerned. That'll at least help you to understand why you and I are talking in the first place. I'm not going to bore you with 30 years of company history. End of 2012, we're a $75 million a year company. Moving forward, our 3-year growth goal is to grow this into a $250 million a year company by the end of 2015. So we're looking at more than tripling our business in 3 years. It's no small task.
Yeah.
However, everything's in place. The infrastructure is all there. The finances are all there. Everything is ready to go. We're literally at a point now in our business where we have more work than we have people that can do it.
Wow.
So that's why you and I are talking. That's a great problem, but it's still a problem no matter what, no matter how you look at it.
You guys got to add staff.
Yeah. This Costco account that you mentioned, we started that about 3 years ago as a way to put ourselves in front of masses of people. Here's the problem that we run into. Nobody has any idea what a wood pellet grill even is, much less the name Traeger. And we know that.
Really? Okay.
So what we wanted to do was just put ourselves in front of masses of people so that as a sales professional, you can take over from there. You find yourself in front of thousands of people every day. I hope that you seize the opportunity and talk to as many of them as possible. That's the whole name of the game there at Costco. Nobody goes to Costco to buy a barbecue grill in the first place.
No.
Which is part of the reason why our products are only sold at Costco when we are there to promote it. When we're not there, our grills are not found inside the warehouse anywhere.
Oh.
Okay.
And Costco doesn't sell any other grill than that, right?
They do sell other grills.
Are you guys exclusive to Costco? Oh, do they? Okay.
They do, yeah, you bet. In the quote-unquote barbecue grilling season, we don't believe that there is a season for barbecue grilling. That's a year-round event. There shouldn't be a season for something so great. Unfortunately, everybody else still believes that there's a season for it. So, it's San Marcos, California. You'll see us there at that Costco maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but that's it. And that's whenever we have that scheduled. That's the only time, though, that you'll see our grills found inside that warehouse is when we're there. That's this 10-day on, 10-day off schedule that you had submitted your resume for, is to be working inside these Costcos. And again, here's really what we're looking for. You've got to be that type of a person. This is cold calling at its finest. Again, nobody walked into Costco to buy a barbecue grill. You have to be that type of person that's not afraid to get in front of a complete stranger all day long, stop them dead in their tracks and divert their attention so you can pull them over and get them in front of one of these grills. So that you can give them a demonstration from there. That's really what we're looking for. Obviously, it's going to go a little bit deeper than that. I mean, for instance, the work hours itself are insane for those 10 days. You're there
what are the work
on
hours
the sales floor every hour that Costco is open. And that's generally 9:30 in the morning till 8:30 in the evening.
Okay, so from 9:30 to 8:30 p.m. Okay.
So
and
you're
you do that 10 days straight?
For 10 days straight.
Okay.
Then
you...
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was going to ask,
here's the easiest way to look at this. This is one of those things where when you step away from this booth, from your area that you have set up in Costco, there's nobody else there to talk to any of these people that are walking past.
Oh, so you work alone?
You do. So when I'm doing this, I look at this and think, I really got to use the restroom right now, but there's too many people around, because I know full well as soon as I walk, that 5 minutes could have just cost me 1 or 2 sales.
Right.
So I just lost a couple $100 because I had to go potty. That's insane. That can wait. Lunch? Lunch is unheard of. Are you kidding me? You try to take an hour lunch in an environment like that.
Wow.
And that $5 McDonald's hamburger that you just had to have probably cost you $300 or $400 in commissions that you lost out on because you were gone for an hour. Now, again, in that kind of environment, I'm not saying don't eat. I'm not saying don't take a break, don't take a lunch. I think my lucky stars, when I get hungry enough, the Costco sells hot dogs up at the front of their warehouse, because that takes me 5 minutes.
Get that.
I can run up. I can scarf down a hot dog on my way back to the booth.
Yeah.
That'll suffice me. But I'm very competitive and rather money driven as well. So in an environment like this, I'm that guy that's always looking at that leaderboard, and if I see myself in the number 2 spot, I'm thinking to myself, oh geez, I'm doing something wrong. How am I going to fix this? And I will fight tooth and nail until I've reclaimed that number 1 spot, and I will continue to fight so I distance myself from the next best person such that there's not a chance they're going to catch me. That's and again, that's really what it's going to take to really do well in this kind of an environment, is that kind of work ethic.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I definitely appreciate and understand that. So then you would work 9:30 to 8:30, 10 days straight, and then you'd have 10 days off. Is that how that works? Where you don't work at all?
Correct.
Okay.
It's really going to be more like 12 days on, 8 days off. Let me explain. It's 10 days of work, but there's going to be a travel day on the front end of that 10 days and a travel day on the back end. You've got to get out to Costco and you've got to get home. So, and when it comes down to the travel, we take care of all of that, but it's just as easy for us to put you on a plane and fly you to Seattle, Washington, or Wheaton, Maryland, or Houston, Texas, or anywhere in the country. It's all fair game. There's no such thing as a territory. I know you're Southern California based, but that doesn't matter to us. It's all the same.
Right. All right. So generally you're just, every time you're on, you're going to a different place then?
Yep.
Is that kind of how that works?
Yep, you are.
Okay. Is it all commission?
It is 100% commission.
Okay.
And that's paid out on a sliding scale between 14 and 20%. Just depends on the volume that you do in 10 days.
What is the average, in a 14 to 20% per grill sold?
14 to 20% of the total volume that you do.
Volume. And how much is an average grill cost? To get an idea of how that works.
At Costco, we have 3 different grills that we sell that go from $300 to $670 up to $800 in price.
Okay.
Average sale is going to be somewhere around the $750 to $800 range. That $670 grill is the main seller at Costco, and then you have pellets and things like that you'll add to it as well.
Right. And so you basically, the more volume you make, the better chance you have of the higher end of the commission structure, correct?
Exactly. So you do, let's say you do $25,000 in sales in that 10-day period. That's mediocre at best. But we'll pay you 16%. Yeah. We would pay you 16% of that total volume. So that's a $4,000 paycheck. It's okay for 10 days. Now you do $50,000 in sales in that 10-day period. That's great. We'll pay you 20% of that.
Okay. And then do you have an expense account with Traeger?
Say that again?
Like, do you have like an expense account with Traeger? Because like, where would you stay and everything like that when if I were not working in the San Marcos Costco, I don't really have.
We take care of all that. We have a traveling coordinator that books flights, rental cars, hotels, takes care of everything for you.
Okay. And how many national sales representatives do you currently have?
I'm going to take a guess, 80 to 85. It's going to be right around 85. There. Yeah.
Okay. And would you expect to be working basically once a month?
Yeah, we stick very, very close to that, very, very strictly to that 10-day on, 10-day off schedule.
Yeah. So, but with 80 to 85 and you're working alone, that's why I asked. So you pretty much, like, you get one assignment a month. So I would be working basically one job and then be off for the rest of the month and then do it again the next following month. Is that kind of how it works?
Almost. It's going to be a little bit quicker than that. It's more like 1.5 events, 1.5 10-day runs every month.
Okay. I understand that now. All right.
So you might, for instance, if somebody goes out, generally those events start on a Friday, and then they'll run for 10 days, so they'll end on a Sunday. So if you went out on, let's say, July 5th, that event would end on the 14th, you would go out again on July 26th.
Okay. So yeah, the turnaround's really quick.
It is. And that 10 days that you're off, I don't care what you do with life. Spend it however you want. Keep that Merrick insurance going. Run with existing clients. If you want to continue to build that on your time off, I don't care. As long as it doesn't affect the 10 days that you are working, doesn't matter to me what you do.
Yeah, I figured that's probably how you guys work. Yeah, where you would just work whenever, work for you, and then your other 10 days is what you want to do, go on vacation.
Yep, exactly.
I wanted to. Yeah.
Now, just understand, this job, and I know this comes down to Sales 101, but a lot of times people have forgotten what Sales 101 is, so I'll explain it anyways. Everything that we do is performance-based. So you either sell or you don't. If you don't, certainly we're going to try to help as much as possible, offer as much training and support as possible, but if you just continue to prove to us that you're not selling well, it's not going to be a long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, I understand that quota.
And you do well, and we're going to treat you very, very well. I mean, sales rep here makes anywhere between 80 on the low end up to 180 on the high end.
Wow, that's good money. Wow.
So again, you know what you're doing. You can do it very well. You are a people person, and you've got the work ethic that just gets out there and does it, gets it done every time you go out. You're doing. You can be making easily $180,000 a year selling barbecue grills at Costco.
Yeah, who would have thought, huh? That's cool. Okay, I like that. So then, do you send So if it turns out to be a fit and I do this, do you send them, so as soon as I've been trained, do you just go out cold, or do you have to go at least once with somebody that's more experienced?
You would go out once or twice with somebody else. In fact, let me explain first of all the interview process, and then I'll explain the training process as well after that.
Okay.
In fact, let me take a step back here really quick and just explain one other part. And I know this is going to be similar to the insurance sales, with a small twist.
Okay.
Everything that we do, this is the pitch business. So when I'm at Costco and I pull somebody aside, I get them in front of this grill. It's a pitch. It's a script. It's memorized. That's all that it is. It's nothing fancy. But that's how I demonstrate how this grill works. I get you in front of it, and now all of a sudden, it's the same words that I said to 80 people that I talked to just before you, and it's the same thing that I'll say again 80 more times to the rest of the people. That's right. It.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to be similar to the insurance world. Yeah. I mean, when you walk through life insurance, it's going to Be the same thing. You might deviate,
twist it a little based on,
personalize it, but basically the same thing. Here's the difference. I don't deviate. It's the exact same pitch, literally, word for word. Now, my personality, my passion, my conviction might change based on you. Right. But it's the same words that I do every time.
Right. Okay?
Yeah. And that can sometimes.
Product knowledge is.
Say that again.
Product knowledge is not too substantial, I would imagine, right? Because it's just, okay, here's the grill, and this is how much. Like, is there like a certain amount of heat that it gives off? I know like gas grills can give up to like 50,000 BTUs. Is that something similar to the wood chip grill? I mean, are those things that people ask?
Yeah, from time to time. But what does 50,000 BTUs even mean?
I think it's the amount of heat that it generates, is from what I understand, of a gas grill. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Most people that ask those questions don't have a clue either.
Okay.
It's just a fancy term that's always been thrown around out there. How hot does it get, though?
Yeah.
450, 500, you only need a grill to get so hot before it's pointless.
Because it depends on what you're cooking. It just depends on what you're cooking. Certain things you cook hotter, and other things you don't cook as quite as hot.
Yeah.
For cooking a filet mignon, you want it to get really hot. But if not,
as long as you know the pitch, this script that we use is 3 minutes total. It's less than a page and a half of words. As long as you know that script, you know all the answers, because that script walks you through everything. It literally is that simple. There's not, like you said, there's not a whole lot of product knowledge that you even have to be aware of. There's not. It's nothing terribly daunting. You've been in insurance sales for 13 years. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a problem memorizing the kind of script that we have.
No. And the product knowledge is expansive. Expansive for insurance as well. So that's why I didn't think it was for grills, but you never know. I mean, that's why I always have to ask.
We have inside Costco, we have 3 different types of grills that we sell there, but they all work just the same.
Okay.
So here's our interview process. Like I said at the beginning, this is just the first step. The second step would be, if this is something that we feel like could be a mutual fit, then let's get the script, the pitch that we use, into your hands and give you a chance to memorize it. In which case, I'd want to schedule another time with you next week where we could meet again on ooVoo just like this, so that I could hear you give me our pitch.
All right.
And it's not a pop quiz to see if you can memorize words on a page. Like I said, that's the easy part, but I want you to sell it to me. Okay?
Yeah, deliver it.
Now, when I say memorize, I mean word for word, verbatim, exactly like it's written. I don't want you to change it. Don't add to it. Don't take away from it. Just keep it just like it is. We've already invented the wheel. You don't need to reinvent it. But, again, just like you said, it's more than just memorizing the words on a page. I don't want to get back online and hear you just recite words that you memorized, because that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to make a sale happen.
Well, because it's going to come off as rehearsed. And
exactly.
People don't like rehearse.
So you would want to memorize it and make it so fluent, get so comfortable with it that you're no longer thinking about what you're supposed to say next. That part comes naturally to you now. Now you can actually give it passion and conviction and personality. Okay? As long as everything sounds good from that perspective, then we would move you along to the final part of our interview process as quickly as possible, and that would be to fly you out to Utah and have you spend a week with us here where we can show you the mechanics of our pitch.
Okay.
Now, what I mean by mechanics of, I'm talking about all the motions that you would go through as you demonstrate this grill along with the words that you just memorized. Yeah. The emotions that you're trying to create when you're presenting this grill to a customer. All the objections that you would ever hear, we've been there and done that. We've heard all the objections, so we can walk you through all those as well. That's what I mean by the mechanics of.
Yeah, so you have objection handling. So
yeah, exactly. And that's really, now, let me clarify a couple of things before we get too far. That is still part of the interview process. Okay, so we will take care of all the arrangements to getting you out here, to keeping you here for that week. And by week, I mean we would fly you here on a Monday, have you here all day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning for a couple of more hours while we wrap it up. We'll get you back on a plane that day and send you home.
Okay.
Again, while that is still part of the interview process and we will take care of all the costs associated, we're not paying you for your time to be here.
Right. You're basically there on your own, on your own dime in the sense that you're not making an income that week, but you guys are taking care of the travel arrangements, right?
Exactly. So if it gets to that point, don't quit your job because you were invited into Utah. Because I'm not offering you a job by that. All right.
Yeah,
good.
I totally understand. Absolutely understand that 100%. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Now that, again, is the final part of our interview process. After all that is done, now we feel comfortable as a team to sit down and evaluate yourself and anybody else we had here for that same process so that we can make decisions. And hopefully that decision is the following Monday morning I get to make the phone call that says, James, congratulations. We want to bring you on board and get you started right away. Okay. Now, that being the case, the first 10 days that we would send you out, that's where your training begins. We're going to pair you up with a field trainer. They're going to work with you hands-on just to make sure that everything you just went through in Utah you can actually apply in the real world. Okay? During that 10 days, during your training period, you are being paid as a trainee, which is $150 a day, flat, for each of those 10 days. After that 10-day training period, there might be one other event that you would do that you would be working tandem with another recently trained sales professional as well. In which case, the two of you would go out, you'd be splitting commissions 50-50. Commissions would be paid out at 100%. It'd just be split 50-50. If we went down that road, then after that event, you'd be flying solo. You'd be off on your own, making 100% commissions, 10 days on, 10 days off, working regular schedules.
Okay. And then what type of attire do you wear to sell in those Costco's?
Really comfortable shoes that aren't going to hurt for 10 days, 10 hours a day.
But we don't wear
polo.
We don't wear company shirts or anything like that?
We do have Traeger logo colored polos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nothing too fancy. We sell barbecue grills for a living.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Any questions at all for me?
I don't think so. You pretty much answered everything that I wanted to know. But yeah, so I think I'm satisfied. Yeah.
Good. Then does this sound like something that you can see yourself being successful doing, but being happy doing as well?
I think so. Something I'm definitely piques my interest. Yeah, I like that. I like the concept.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then let's do this. I want to get the script sent out to you today. So you're actually going to get a few different emails from us today. You'll get one email from myself outlining some of the basics that we've already talked about. I'll have a few different attachments on there for you to start going through as well.
Okay.
But I'm going to have some different dates and time frames on there also. For instance, you and I plan on July 10th, meeting together again on the 10th. That'll give you just over a week to memorize the script.
Okay. And July 10th is a
Wednesday.
Tuesday? Next Wednesday? Okay.
Yep. I'm really just going to be looking for you to respond to my email, preferably today sometime, but with a good time where we can take 5 minutes on the 10th and go over the pitch.
Yeah, just with my other jobs, mornings like we do now is probably the best.
Okay. So no worries.
I'll respond to that too. Yeah, I'll respond to that too.
You'll get another email from our recruiting department as well with a non-compete, non-disclosure agreement Same thing I'm sure you already seen and signed with other companies. Nothing different.
Absolutely. Nothing different there.
The last email that you'll get will come from Jay Lene. He's our Director of Corporate Training. He's going to send you a copy of the script itself.
Okay.
So just watch out for each one of those 3 emails. Respond accordingly. Now, Jay's email probably will not get out to you until I'm betting 8 or 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh, okay. No problem.
He does a lot of traveling to do some hands-on training with some of our sales professionals as well. So I never know where in the country he is on any given day.
Okay.
It's usually about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, though. He finally has a chance to sit down in a hotel room somewhere and get his laptop out so he can send out an email like this.
Right. So he can do, Okay.
Yeah. So, James, it's been a pleasure talking with you. Unless you have any other questions,
You as well.
I've already talked way too much.
No, I'm good. I thank you very much, and I'll be looking for your emails.
All right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it,
right.
and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you again next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks. Bye.